I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth in sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect and a few sisters that may listen as well. And salutations to the Akim that tune in. So today's title is Riches Don't Make You Righteous. So we're going to be going into, the fact that a lot of people's focus are on just solely riches nowadays. Because it's not bad to have an abundance of money or have physical riches, have actual money, but you don't want to make that your main focus. That's not what you want to make your only drive, and, that's not balance. But that's we're going to start off with Ecclesiastes 7 and 12 because it goes exactly into that.
Right, okay, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12. And it reads, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it."
Because how was Adam created? He was given the breath of life. So without life, you're just bones. You're you're walking dead. Wisdom is our true defense. It's that armor that we put on to deal with the day-to-day that we have in this world.
Yeah.
And to guide us and work down the right path.
Yeah.
Because money ain't gonna do that shit, man. Rich people, you see, physically rich people go to jail or get shot or get killed for whatever reason, all the time. They have to sell out their soul, which isn't even theirs to begin with, to really prosper in this world.
Exactly. Like earlier, I think it was last year, there was this rant that Kanye West made. If you really think about, a lot of us, our people are in these these entertainment businesses, and then a character like Kanye West, when you think about it, this guy has millions of dollars, and look at him bugging out, because, and then he went on the video ranting that is saying that his mother was sacrificed. I think it was Michael Jordan as well. He sacrificed a family member, Jennifer Hudson, and a bunch of other celebrities, right? Just to get a couple of riches in this world,
Cons.
And they don't have that breath like you were speaking of, right? That made Adam a living soul, right? They don't have that comfort as well.
Cons.
So, this goes to that spiritual riches, but continue.
And they have no stability. I say that because I want to bring out Isaiah 33 and 6 next. They have no stability because those riches don't give them any stability.
Con.
They're just in the world, and then Kanye is considered one of the greats when it comes to music, and in that industry he was with one of the Kardashians, just to have all this money. Yet he was essentially losing his mind because of everything that he's going through. And they're running him mad, and he's running himself mad because he ran into that stuff. Like you said, he sacrificed his mom, and he essentially gave himself into that stuff because he has no stability. He doesn't have any wisdom.
Yeah, he doesn't have. I think even his wife Kim was using his children as leverage to essentially they're keeping her away from him, essentially, the children.
Man, if he had wisdom, he wouldn't have gotten with her.
Yeah, or know how to deal with them, right? Because the scriptures do tell you that too.
That's
Their heart is snares and nets.
Con.
Right?
But these Kardashians are the worst of the worst. Like every man that they deal with ends up in ruins, bro. Even their father.
Yeah, God.
Man.
But you want me to get Isaiah?
Yeah, Isaiah 33 and 6.
Okay, so this is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, and it reads, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure."
Con, and these people that depend on only physical riches, they do not fear the Lord. They don't fear Yahweh. That is why they are in the state that they are in, or they're going to be destroyed. Because they're not going to have that salvation. Because it says here, it is stability of the times and strength of salvation. So the fear of the Lord is going to lead us to salvation as one of the hopeful elect. But these people that don't fear the Lord at all, they're going to be stubble.
Yeah, you think about, especially when you're going through tough times, you really start to reflect on, when the scriptures say, seeking the old paths, and then seeking the ways of our forefathers and what they did when they were in those situations too, because there were certain characters, they were in like David, for example. He was in dire situations with with his with Saul, and then you realize it's like, you know, he always ended up getting out, right? You know, because, you know, the Lord was with him, right? You know, he feared the Lord. You know, he practiced that. You know, he had integrity. He was upright. But our people, you know, going back to the comment, our people don't have that uprightness. They don't have morals or scruples, so they sell out themselves and cheapen themselves for a couple bucks.
Con.
You know,
And really, Yahweh Shem Shai can help you do anything. Like in the Maccabees, they were always outnumbered, but they always came out on top, and that's what these people feared them, because they knew that they had Yahweh Shem Shai on their side, and they always call upon this part to help them fight off these wicked people that just want to destroy them. So it goes to show, man, fear of the Lord is where it starts.
yeah, that's where really knowledge starts. I have a precept, if I may. This is 1 Maccabees 3, verse 19, and it reads, "For the victory of battle standeth not with the multitude of an host, but the strength that cometh from heaven." Right? So, you know, that's actually what you're saying. Yeah, you know, our strength comes from, it comes from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? You know, when you learn about, you know, Yahweh Shai's walk, and even the ways that, you know, our forefathers walked as well, you know, it gets you through these tough times and times to come, you know how willing that he preserves us, right? So,
and I want to add on to that as well with Proverbs 18 and 10.
Okay,
Go from 10 and 11.
1 second. Okay, this is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10, and it reads, "The name of the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it, and it's safe."
Because that's the only thing that's going to keep you safe, especially when Yahweh Shai returns. What's going to, like, that money is going to protect you. Even if you have one of those bunkers, what's that going to do for you? You're just saving yourself for slavery.
No, yeah, that's these elites, right? Our people are just vain. Are vain because they think they can, they can get away from, judgment, without, and circumvent the Lord essentially, right? And get their own way, The scriptures say that his ways are higher than our ways.
Yeah, and what's the scripture say? They have it in their mind that they themselves could be the Lord, or the ruler, or something along those lines. They have in their mind that then they themselves can rule.
They can rule forever?
That they could be the Lord. Well, that they can rule forever, but they have it in their minds that they themselves can be God.
Oh.
So it says that it could be the Lord.
Is that Thessalonians, I think?
Just paraphrasing, but
yeah.
And read verse 11.
Oh, verse 11. Okay, Khan.
That's exactly what you were saying.
The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as a high wall in his own conceit. Oh, yikes.
So he thinks that he has a strong city around him, built of just of money. He's like, no one could touch me. I'm rich. I can do anything I want, until Yahweh Shai comes.
Yeah, that's prideful.
That's
very prideful.
Pride leads to destruction. Yeah, as you can see with these, it is P-Ride month.
Yeah.
So and those people are going to be destroyed as well. But that's a whole another topic.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to just bring out. I already have it here on my other phone. So Proverbs 16 and 8. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. So it's better to have very little money and have wisdom of the scriptures and righteousness rather than to be rich and have none of it. And like we said, Kanye is a good example of that. And a lot of these basketball players and stuff, they sell out their souls, the black boule, and they have to do anything that these people tell them to, dress up like a woman, dress up in a dress, sacrifice their kids.
Dwayne Wade, his son. His son's not a girl.
And I know Amath is going into LeBron's son. He turned 18 and I think he got 666 tatted on his neck.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 666 or 8 tattoo on his neck that signifies that he was, I think it was 666.
Yeah, it's still a tattoo though.
Yeah. As soon as he turned 18, signify that he's a sacrifice. Let's go into 1 Corinthians 7 and 31.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 7 and 31.
Okay. It says, 1 First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. And they that use this world and not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
So that's basically what we've been saying. So when this world isn't going to be here forever, and this fashion, this world leads to death. There's no life in it. All they push is their wicked wine, their ways, their deceitful ways.
Right.
And it all leads to destruction. That's why a lot of people, especially now, people are seeing. A lot of people I've seen online, they're talking about how it's quote unquote crazy that America and Canada, like America and stuff, is doing the same shit that Rome did back in the day, right before it went down.
That's true. That's true.
Pushing sodomy and all this foolishness. Like a lot of people are done with this world. That's why a lot of people are depressed too.
Yeah.
They see that a lot of people think they have no reason to live. They're like, what is the point of this world? The world is just wicked, because they have no wisdom, and they go along with the fashion of this world, which just leads to destruction, leads to confusion.
Yeah, the scriptures also say that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Khan.
When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So these people are in a state of constant mourning, and they don't have the answers. Like, going into these spiritual riches, they don't have an understanding of what's going on, right? To actually be comforted in these situations, especially our people as well.
Yeah, because when the righteous is in rulership, there's going to be order.
Con.
There's none of that today.
Con, exactly. And it's just to land back on your point about the Roman Empire. And another thing that was going on heavy as well towards the end was the inflation of the coin, the denarius, right? And then they began to, I think after 54 AD, under Emperor Nero, is when they started debasing the actual currency. So they took the silver coin, and instead of it being like 95% silver, it eventually began dropping, and they mixed it with other metals. So it began to become cheaper, right? Same thing that's happening now, with the gold standard being removed, and you can't actually take that physical note, and it's being backed up by a bar of gold, for example, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing.
It's backed up by air.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no substance to it.
So just to add to the point of what you were saying.
Right. Let's bring out 1 Corinthians 9 and 25. We'll go down to 27.
Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 9, verse 25. And it reads, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things, but now that do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
Because their corruptible crown is that city that they're trying to build out their money. They think it's going to lead them to whatever life. Like they think the life that they get from this money in this world is the greatest thing ever. Like, I get a fast car, get a big house, but they're dead inside. A lot of these rich people are depressed and they want to kill themselves because they have no order. Their crown is corruptible; it's just going to fall apart.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air.
So there's no point to what they're doing, basically.
Yeah.
Because like it says,
yeah.
Not running uncertainly, you're just punching the air for what? There's nothing there. It's like when you see an crazy person on the street, you see these cracked up people. They're fighting the air. Yeah, they're just talking to the air. The same thing. They look crazy like that, and that's what these people are doing by just chasing money.
That's what they. Yeah. That's how we see them, but that's how they see us as well. Because they can actually see what we're doing. Making ourselves a living sacrifice.
Yeah, they don't have that eyesight.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know the prophecies. Mm-hmm. They don't know the scriptures. They don't know the value of actual exemplifying Yahweh Shai and applying Yahweh Shai to our own daily lives and our own situations, right? And the returns that gives us, even in our day to day, that happens, right? So they don't see that, but They're not spiritual. They're dead.
And they've never had true wisdom. They think reading all these books and listening to Jordan Peterson is going to give them all this wisdom.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, I mean he's the big what's the word? He's the big guy of this time right now when it comes to quote unquote wisdom. Because he says some deep stuff or stuff that they think is deep, that because these people can't think for themselves. They've never had, a lot of these people never had a deep thought. And I've I've experienced this with my woman. She thinks she's so smart when it comes to thinking, to having deep thoughts. What's that word called? All those guys that are perceived smart because they have these deep thoughts. They're
very eloquent.
I can't think of a word right now, but because there's a group that they call them, because it's like the Jordan Peterson of this time than the ones of the previous times, like Socrates and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know the word, but I know. Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But
a lot of people think they have deep thoughts just by questioning what is life. Like that's
philosophical.
Yeah, there we go. They think they're philosophical because they question what is life, and that's as far as their thought goes. What is life? I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to partying and whatever not they do on a day-to-day basis, foolishness that they do.
Right.
They don't actually think of true wisdom of the scriptures, like you say. They don't have that knowledge of how to live, order, land Sabbath, Passover, like all those ways to live, all the laws that we have. They don't have that wisdom.
Even the importance of eating the right foods and why the unclean foods need to be in the ocean.
And even after they know, they're like, oh, it tastes good though. It's disgusting, man.
All that is wisdom.
Eating bugs of the sea. That's how I always roast people that eat that shit. Man. Bugs of the fucking sea is disgusting. Would you eat a cockroach? Actually, some people would eat a cockroach, man. Fucking disgusting. We can't go for the last verse.
Last verse, verse 27, and it reads, "But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway."
And we use the wisdom of the scriptures to keep our body in subjection, and that's with our mind, because our mind is what really controls our body, and we use the scriptures to filter everything that we do. So we use the scriptures to tell our mind what to do, to control our body, so we're not in the world like these people. We're not doing the shit that these people do, the wicked shit that they do on a daily basis. And it's practice. It's practice. That's why you have to renew yourself on a daily basis, renew your spirit on a daily basis, your armor, because like the first scripture said, Ecclesiastes 7:12, for wisdom is a defense, and money is defense, but the excellency of knowledge is the wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So if you don't have that life, you're not going to be able to keep yourself in subjection. You're not going to be able to keep yourself on the right path on a daily basis. And that's the last piece that I have here.
I got two that can actually. Well, I have an account in 1 Samuel. This is 1 Samuel, chapter 2. Sorry, Salakia, chapter 25. I'm going to start at 2, but the points lowered down. I just wanted to establish some context. So there was a wealthy man from Maon who owned property near the town of Carmel. He had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and it was sheep shearing time. I'm reading in the NLT, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was confused for a second there. I was like, what?
So I want to skip down to, let's see. I want to skip down to verse 7. So this is just the scene that so David is on the run from Saul, essentially, right? And he goes to see this man named Nabal. He has a bunch of riches, and these are your own people, by the way, right? These are other Israelites. And so verse 7, it says, I am told, I'm still reading in the NLT, so I am told that it is sheep shearing time while your shepherds stayed among us near Carmel. We have never harmed them, and nothing was ever stolen from them. Verse 8, ask your own men if they will tell you this is true, so it will be kind of us. We have come at this time of celebration. Please share any provisions you might have on hand with us and with your friend David. right? So, I'm going to read a little bit more and then go into some more. And David's young men gave the message to Nabal in David's name, and waited for a reply. And who is this fellow David? Nabal sneered to the young men. Who is this son of Jesse? Who does this son of Jesse think he is? There are lots of servants these days who run away from their masters, right? So now here is the situation. You have a young man, David. He's like the up and coming king. Essentially, he has a lot of fame because before this, he actually slain Goliath, right? So he's in a situation where he needs help. So he goes to see this guy named Nabal who has all these different riches, right? He has all these goats and sheep and whatnot, right? And essentially, what Nabal does, being very stingy that he turns him down, right? So this is an example of somebody who actually has a lot of riches, but they don't actually practice that fear of the Lord and actually practice that, giving alms. Because if you read in Tobit, it says that alms can deliver. Hang on, let me just grab it. This is Tobit chapter 4. I think it's verse 10. Because that alms do deliver from death and suffer not to come into darkness. For alms is a good gift unto all that giveth in it in the sight of the Most High, Yahweh, right? So, he was in a situation to be able to give alms, but he didn't do it. So just going back to that title of the lesson, he didn't practice that fear of the Lord, right? Who's somebody who was blessed with a lot of riches. Because the scriptures also do say that poverty and riches come from the Lord, right? So, this was just an example of somebody, kind of cutting it short, but, somebody who actually had a lot of abundance, like abundance, intrinsic riches of the world. However, they did not practice the fear of the Lord and not actually apply, essentially, Yahweh Shai in this situation. What would he do if, somebody came up to you and they were in a dire situation and needed help? He kind of casted his hand back and refused to help David.
He's conceited,
right? God. But anyways, that's kind of about it. It's a really good chapter. It goes more into what happens at the end. Eventually David does get the riches, and because the guy's wife Abigail intervenes and then blesses him with loaves of wine and clusters of raisins and cakes, and just to get him through his journey, right? So
that's funny.
Yeah.
His woman ended up being more righteous than him.
Exactly. Because he was a stingy man, right? Riches are not common for a niggard, right? So, she was a lot more righteous because she even prayed, and said like, please have, hopefully you beat down the enemies, and pray for the household, that you have mercy on the household, right? That was very righteous what she did, right? So. Anyways, that's all I've got.
Kind of will end it there.
Okay.
I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word, and salutations to the Akim and a few sisters that may listen. Shabbat Shalom.